cause number 312274. The case is styled the State of Texas versus Arnisha Raquel Mitchell. Is that your full name?
Yes, sir.
How you doing, Miss Mitchell?
I'm fine. How you doing?
I'm doing fine. Thanks for asking. Miss Mitchell, I have before me a document that is titled Motion to Revoke Probation, Unadjudicated Probation. And basically, in this motion, it alleges that on or about, well, that on October 24th of 2017, you were, the court found the evidence sufficient beyond a reasonable doubt to support a finding of guilt for the Class B theft, but the court deferred guilt in accordance with the provisions of 4212 Code of the Texas Code of Criminal Procedure. And the judge placed you on unadjudicated probation for a period of 3 months. And let's see, that was. What was this motion filed? This is amended motion? Okay, so you got on probation on October 24th of 2017, and the state filed the motion to revoke your probation on January 22nd of 2019. I may not have jurisdiction.
I'm gonna look, Your Honor. She was extended for a total of 15 months
Okay, so she was,
before the interruptee was filed.
okay, so there was some extensions.
Yes,
Oh,
sir.
I didn't know. I don't even.
Oh yeah, hold on a minute. Just, they're going to look that up.
Okay.
You have a
I
copy
have
of those?
copies of it.
Yeah, when was the first extension?
Um, The first one was there's a January of 2018, and that one was for 6 months. And
Okay,
there's July of 18 for 3 months, and October 18 for.
then they filed a motion to revoke after the third extension. Well, during the third extension, that it wasn't. Okay, okay, thanks. Now, Miss Mitchell, the state, as I said, has filed a motion to revoke your unadjudicated probation. And basically, because this is a Class B misdemeanor, if your probation is revoked, your punishment can, you can face the full range of punishment for this offense. Now, this is a Class B misdemeanor, and the full range of punishment for a Class B misdemeanor is confinement in the county jail for a term not to exceed 180 days, which is 6 months, and or a fine that doesn't exceed $2,000. So I said that to say this. Now, the paperwork that you have in your hand, basically, and I'm gonna go over it, which it says judge's explanation of rights to defendant without an attorney. Do you see that? Okay. As a defendant in a criminal case, you have 3 options. Number 1, you may hire an attorney. Do you understand that option? Number 2, if you do not have enough money to hire an attorney, you may request an attorney be appointed to represent you. Do you understand that option? Number 3, you may represent yourself. Do you understand that option? If you want an attorney to represent you and have enough money to hire an attorney, the case will be reset to give you time to do so. If you want an attorney and do not have the money to hire one, you will need to fill out a financial questionnaire so that the proper person can determine whether or not to appoint an attorney to represent you. You may not speak to the prosecutor about your case unless you sign a written waiver of your right to be represented by an attorney. Be aware that there are dangers to self-representation. Waiving your right to an attorney and representing yourself may result in a worse outcome for you and your case, including the loss of significant legal rights and opportunities relating to military service, possession of a firearm, housing and public benefits, child custody, immigration status for non-citizens, and employment. If you choose to proceed without an attorney, you may change your mind at any time and may request counsel from the court. Now, at the bottom of that document, it states, defendant's choice, mark initials next to only one choice. If your choice is, I want to reset this case to hire my own attorney, then you'll place your initials on the first line to the left. Or if your choice is, I have hired an attorney whose name is, then you will place your initials on the second line to the left and the name of the attorney on the line to the right. If your choice is, I want to apply for court-appointed counsel, then you'll place your initials on the third line to the left. Or if your choice is, I have a court-appointed attorney whose name is, then you'll place your initials on the fourth line to the left and the name of the attorney on the line to the right. And if your choice is, I want to waive my right to an attorney and represent myself, then you'll place your initials on the fifth line to the left. Now, once you finish placing your initials on one of those 5 lines, then you will sign at the bottom of that document on the line that says defendant, and you will place today's date, April 23rd of 2021. Do you understand? Okay, just go ahead on and take some time and make your choice. You can use that table to write on. You don't have to. Okay. So you said I want to apply for court-appointed counsel. Now you have to fill out hold on a minute, a financial questionnaire. Is there a clipboard to put that on? Yeah. You can go have a seat. He's going to give you that financial questionnaire. Now let me do this here. On that financial questionnaire, you have to fill out the information like where it says the state of Texas versus, you'll put your name here, and then you'll answer these questions like your first name, your address, telephone number, etc. And then it says, do I receive Medicaid, SSI, SNAP, TANF order? You check one of any of those boxes that apply to you. And then if you're employed, you just go down to the next one, just if not, and put no. And then you just go down here and talks about whether or not you're married or not. You're gonna check off one of those boxes, and then the next line, if you are married, you put your spouse. If you have any children, you're gonna name your children and put their ages, these children that are dependent. Now, over here on this side of the document, where it says, actually it says rent, well, it says residence information. They wanna know whether you rent a house, own, or if you reside with someone, or whether or not you're homeless. And then on this side, they want your monthly income if you have an income. And so what you're gonna do is go down and answer each one of these questions. Like you said, my take-home pay, they're saying that's per month, you put that. And then you just answer each one, and at the bottom, you're gonna put your total. And then on the next side, over here where it said monthly expenses, like if you have to pay rent, you'll put that amount, and then just answer all of these here questions. And then when you get to the bottom, you're gonna just total up what's in this column. And then when you get to the next page of that document, you're gonna sign on the line where it says defendant's oath. You'll date it and sign there, and then we'll swear you in. You can go take a seat, and then we'll get back to you once you finish. And if you need some help, just let us know. We're on the record and, well, this here. Let me see this. Okay. This is cause number 312400, State of Texas versus Alan James LaFleur. Mr. LaFleur, would you come forward? Mr. LaFleur, I just received a dismissal of your motion to revoke probation. So, is he off probation? This is,
Yes,
his
yes,
term
Your
is over.
Honor. He's through with this case.
Okay, Mr. LaFleur, I've just signed your motion to dismiss your motion to revoke probation that the state has filed. And first of all, Mr. LaFleur, I'd like to congratulate you on successfully completing your probation. And with that being said, I usually give a handshake, but we're gonna have to do a air handshake. Okay. So, Mr. LaFleur, congratulations, and you can get your dismissal and you'll be free to go and you have a blessed day.
And I think Mr. Kurtz, both of his clients are here.
Okay,
Well, one's on Zoom and one's.
yes, Mr. Shannon's been on Zoom. We're gonna go ahead and do. Yeah, that door is locked.
I'm just gonna ask for more time on Shannon's, because I haven't seen it.
Oh, what is it, Wilson? Yeah, hold on a minute. Here it is. This is cause number 323048. And the case is styled the State of Texas versus Shannon Andrew Wilson. Mr. Wilson is appearing via Zoom. Again, Mr. Wilson, how are you doing?
I'm doing good, sir. How about yourself?
I'm doing fine, thanks for asking. And Mr. Wilson, you're here represented by your attorney, Mr. Ryan Gertz. Mr. Gertz, how are you doing?
Great, Judge.
That's good. Mr. Gertz, Mr. Wilson's case is on the court's motion to revoke probation docket. You have an announcement?
Judge, we are requesting the court give us some additional time. This motion stems from a new offense allegation that has not been picked up. So there's not been any discovery done in that new case. And that's the
Let me ask you this, is the case unfiled? Okay.
it has not been indicted or filed,
Okay,
to my knowledge. So we check every week.
okay,
It hasn't.
So,
okay.
and I just don't know the merits of the case until I.
Yeah, we don't know, yeah, okay, we don't,
So may I ask the court for, say, 60 days?
that's fine. I was gonna give you some more time because we don't know
Well, we
when
go
or
longer
if
than
it's gonna
60
be.
days.
We don't know when or if it's gonna be filed.
Correct.
Okay, so yeah, give us a court date. Be reset to July 2nd, 2021. Mr. Gertz, you can get your reset here. And Mr. Wilson, your attorney is going to be getting your reset. Your case has been reset till July 2nd of 2021.
Yes, sir.
This will conclude your case,
Okay.
and you are excused, and you have a blessed day.
Yes, sir. You too.
Thank you. The next case is cause number 320890. And this case is style of State of Texas versus Yen Louis Perez Zamaron.
You think it'd be hard to miss?
Your Honor, on this one, the state just submitted a dismissal of the NTRP. I spoke to Ashley Malfino, and it was part of a plea agreement on a felony case.
Uh, Okay. I'm looking at it. Let me find it.
But it's, my understanding that as a dismissal of this MTRP, he'll still be on.
He's still on this probation and the other one.
Yeah.
For whatever
Okay.
that's worth. So,
Okay, Mr. Zamaron, the state is dismissing your motion to revoke probation in this case. I'm signing the motion to dismiss that motion to revoke probation. So, Mr. Zamaron, you and your attorney can get a copy of this motion to dismiss your motion to revoke probation. And once you get that, you'll be free to go, and you have a blessed day. And Mr. Gertz, I think this is your last case. You have a blessed day as well.
I appreciate you, Judge. Thank you.
Okay, you are. You come through?
No, sir. It did.
Because I know I signed it.
You did. You print two?
FYI on the announcement
Hold
document.
on. This is cause number 326-330. Case to style the state of Texas versus Michael Christopher Cunningham. We have Mr. Cunningham appearing in person. Mr. Cunningham is represented by attorney Nathan Reynolds, who is appearing via Zoom. Mr. Cunningham, how are you doing? I'm doing fine, thanks for asking. Mr. Reynolds, how are you doing?
Doing well, Judge. How are you?
I'm doing fine. Mr. Reynolds, do you have an announcement you'd like to make in Mr. Cunningham's case?
Judge, I was just appointed on this about 30 days ago, and I've recently received discovery. I've talked to Mr. Cunningham, but I have not had a chance to visit with a prosecutor with regard to a plea bargain or other resolution of the case. And if the court would give us about 30 days, maybe I could come back with an announcement or
Could you give us a court date?
Cunningham,
Yes,
June 4th.
June 4th. Okay, it's going to be reset to June 4th of 2021. Mr. Cunningham, you're going to get your reset in court.
Okay.
You can step over there in front of the court coordinator on the X. Once you get your reset, you'll be free to go, and you have a blessed day.
Thank you.
All right. And Mr. I think this is your only case. Is that correct?
it is, Judge.
Okay, Mr. Reynolds, you were excused and you have a blessed day, and we will send you your reset.
All right. Thank you, Judge.
Let's see, is Richard here? I'm asking, Luciana Richard? Or Richard?
Judge, it's a correction on that, it's gonna be June the 11th.
Okay.
This is on that announcement document. That's what to your attorney.
We're on the record, we have two cases First case is cause number 326-284. Second case is cause number 326-558. Both cases are styled the state of Texas versus Luciano Richard. We have Ms. Richard present in court. Her attorney, Mr. Langston Adams, is appearing on Zoom. Ms. Richard, how are you doing? I'm doing fine. Thanks for asking. And Mr. Adams, how are you doing?
Hey, doing well, Judge.
Okay, now, Mr. Adams, you have an announcement you'd like to make on Ms. Richard's case?
Yes, on Mr. Richard's case, Judge, if you wouldn't mind, could you give me just 30 days, please, just 30 only? I do have discovery and I do have a video on this particular case. And I just want the client to see the video, and after that, we can go forward. And if he wants, he can come to my office today at 4 o'clock. I'll be here today at 4 o'clock.
Okay, Mr. Adams, well, it's Miss Richard, not Mr. Richard.
I'm here, Judge.
Yeah, I say it's Miss Richard, not Mr.
I'm sorry, I apologize.
Okay. Now, Miss Richard, now, is it Richard or Richard? It's Richard, okay. Now, Miss Richard, you're gonna stand in front of the court. You'll be fine and have a blessed day. Now, Mr. Adams, your reset will be printed, and I think this is your only case, so you're excused and you have a blessed day as well.
Okay, Judge, thank you for your time.
Okay, you're welcome. Mitchell, you meet the eligibility requirements for the appointment of court-appointed attorney. Your attorney is going to be Mr. Bruce Cobb. Ms. Mitchell, you can stand on the X in front of the court. Well, no, you're gonna stand here. She has to swear you into this first. Here you go.
Raise your right hand. You swear that all the information you give me today is true and correct to the best of your knowledge?
Cause number is 317464, cases filed State of Texas versus Jack Morrell Holloway. Is that your full name? How you doing, Mr. Holloway? I'm doing fine, thanks for asking. Mr. Holloway, I think you appeared in court before on this case. This is a motion to revoke probation. And I'm just looking at the notes here. It says to pay $200 plus and do community service. Is that correct, Ms.
Yes, Your
Barlow?
Honor.
Has Mr. Holloway paid the $200 and did community service?
Yes, Your Honor. He made his $200 payment and he has performed, he only has 7 hours of community service left.
Okay,
So his balance right now is 406. So we just asked to reset him again, to let him continue making his payment.
okay. So we're gonna reset him 30 days so he can make a $200 payment and complete his community. Yes,
I paid the remainder of my fee yesterday.
Oh, you did?
you paid the balance?
Do you have your receipt? I can check. I have to call.
And when I went to do the rest of my community service, they told me I was finished
Okay.
Tuesday.
Could you check into that? Is there any way for you to check into that or not?
Yes, I can check real quick. He did, he paid yesterday evening, paid it off. So he could, let me check on those hours and then we can dismiss him.
Okay,
Okay.
okay, Mr. Holloway, just have a seat. This is cause number 327124, case of style Lester Arline Thomas. Is that your full name?
Junior, yes, sir.
Okay, Lester Arline Thomas Jr.
Yes, sir.
How you doing, Mr. Thomas?
I'm doing okay.
Okay, Mr. Thomas, put your mask over your nose and your mouth. Okay, thank you, sir. Mr. Thomas, I see the last time you was here, you were to hire an attorney.
Yes, sir.
Have you hired your attorney?
No, sir.
Why haven't you hired an attorney?
Well, last Friday, my father passed.
Okay,
So I'm trying to-
well, first of all, you have my condolences. Okay, you have my condolences.
Right,
All right. You said your father passed.
I'm trying to come up with money to bury him.
Oh, okay.
I can pay that.
So you need additional time to get money for your attorney. That's what you're asking?
Yes, sir, unless we can take care of this today.
Oh, no, okay, now, you saying unless they're gonna take care of it today?
Unless we can take care of it today.
Okay, now, Mr. Thomas, last time you were here, we went over the judge's explanation of rights, and you had three options. Now, in order for you to, if you want to take care of today, you'd have to change your option. Now, do you want to represent yourself, or do you want a lawyer to represent you?
I would like a lawyer, but like I said, right now, this time I have a lot going on.
Well, I understand that, but I said I was gonna give you some time to get your money to hire your attorney,
Yes, sir.
if that's what you wanna do.
Yes, sir.
Is that, you still want, okay. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna reset your case to give you time to hire the attorney, okay? Let's give him 45 days. Okay. Okay, your case is gonna be reset to June 25th to give you time to hire the attorney of your choosing. And you can stand over there on the X in front of the court coordinator. And once she's gonna give you a reset. Once you get your reset, you'll be free to go and you have a blessed day.
Thank you, sir.
You're welcome.
Your Honor, Ms. Barlow was able to confirm on Mr. Holloway, and I submitted a dismissal to you on this case.
Okay. Mr. Holloway, Mr. Jack Moore Holloway, you can come back up. Mr. Holloway, the probation officer as well, Ms. Ashley Barlow has confirmed that you paid all of your fees and you have completed your community service. And the state has filed a motion to dismiss your motion to revoke probation. And I've just signed that motion. And Mr. Holloway, that door is locked, sir?
Sir. Drop this stuff.
Now, Mr. Holloway, well, Ms. Barlow, let's conclude this case. He will be off for probation.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. Now, Mr. Holloway, this is, this motion has been signed, so you're no longer on probation. And on behalf of County Court Law Number 2 and the citizens of Jefferson County, we'd like to thank you for successfully completing your probation. All right. And as I often say, this court, we want to try to produce productive people. And obviously you did what you said you were going to do when the court gave you the chance and the DA gave you the offer to be on probation. And so I'd like to congratulate you on that, on successfully completing your probation. And I usually give a handshake, but because of the pandemic, I'm going to do an air handshake. All right. So congratulations. You can stand over there on the X in front of the court coordinator. Once you get your reset, you'll be free to go and you have a blessed day.
Did you want to do, Ms. Rubin?
Hold on. Hold on a minute. Next case is cause number 307064. Case is styled the state of Texas versus Deja Jatan Rubin. Is that your full name? How you doing, Miss Rubin?
Hey, how you doing today?
I'm doing fine. Now, Miss Rubin, you're represented by attorney Ryan Matuska, and Mr. Matuska is appearing via Zoom. How are you doing, Mr. Matuska?
Morning, Your Honor.
Good morning. Now, Ms. Rubin, well, Mr. Matuska, I see here that Ms. Rubin was to pay $200 a month for 6 months. Ms. Barlow, what is the status of Ms. Rubin's case?
She hasn't made the last 2 payments of her $200. So if she has a refund, is there a reason why you didn't make?
Is there a reason why you,
My mom, she ended up getting COVID and it relapsed, so she usually watches my kids when I go to work, so it kind of pushed me back a little bit.
so you could go to work?
No, sir, so I had to stay home and watch my kids, but I could have, like, whenever I came back, I could have paid like the full amount, it just kind of pushed me back a little bit.
Okay, what is the full amount?
771.
Okay,
So she's almost done. She just made the last couple payments.
okay, so, so you're back working full-time?
Well, not full-time right now, just part-time on the weekends because my mom, it relapsed, she got it again, so.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that.
Yeah, so she usually watches my kids while I go to work, so I'm just waiting her out for a little bit.
Okay.
See if she gets over it.
Okay, so, Ms.
But
Barlow,
like the next time I pay, I'm trying to pay like the whole thing. Trying to
okay,
be done with the whole thing.
I would ask that we reset her 60 days
60.
to try to get her back on track.
okay. Any, state, are you in agreement with that?
I'm in agreement with
Okay.
that, Your Honor.
Okay, so, Mr. Matuska, did you hear that?
Yes, sir, Your Honor.
Okay, so, her case is gonna be reset 60 days so that she can get back on track.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Okay, so Ms. Rubin, your case is gonna be reset, give us a court date.
July 2nd.
Okay, your case is gonna be reset to July 2nd. And Ms. Rubin, you can get your reset from the court coordinator. Once you get your reset, you'll be free to go. You have a blessed day, and we hope everything is all right with your mom.
What was the balance, Ms. Barlow? 771. Okay.
And Mr. Matuska, I think this is your only case, is that correct?
Yes, sir, Your Honor.
Okay, you are excused. We will send you your reset, and you have a blessed day.
Thank you, Judge.
You're welcome.
Your Honor, I know I've
Let's,
But yes,
We-
Judge,
we-
I have Torres and then Thomas.
all right.
Torres with the MT.
Okay, Hugo Torres, you come forward. Mr. Torres is two cases. First case is cause number 310944. Second case is 311332. Both cases are styled Hugo Torres. In both cases, are motions to revoke the unadjudicated probation of Mr. Torres. Mr. Torres, how are you doing?
I'm doing good myself.
I'm doing fine, thanks for asking. Mr. Torres, you're here represented by your attorney, Mr. Charles McIntosh. Mr. McIntosh, how are you doing?
I'm doing well, Judge. Thank you.
That's good. We have the state represented by Ms. Maxey. Ms. Maxey, how are you doing?
Doing well.
That's good. And we have probation officers represented by Ms. Barlow. Ms. Barlow, how are you doing?
I'm good.
That's good. Now, Mr. Let's see. Was there an agreement or anything on this here case?
No, Judge, this is our first
Oh.
appearance on this.
Okay, so what is your announcement?
Would like to know what the probation office is thinking.
The probation officer is recommending to proceed with revocation.
Okay. Now, so you would like to reset it for, you want to keep it on announcement doc, you reset it for hearing, or what do you need?
I have to take one more job. Right now, they got me kind of like not even quarantining, but they had me quarantining like last 2 weeks because I was feeling good. I wasn't feeling good, but that's negative. And I just called right now. They want me to go back in 3 days.
It's just,
So I have to find out my schedule from work.
Okay, do you think Fridays are probably the best day?
Probably. But I mean, whatever.
Yeah,
suits you.
let's leave it on a Friday, Judge.
okay, I mean, it was going to, you set it for an announcement, or?
Yes, Judge.
Okay, you hadn't
I
talked
don't
to
even know
the,
what's going on.
you still need some time to talk to the prosecutors and
Yes,
stuff?
Judge, I
Okay,
do.
all right. What we're gonna do, we're gonna just keep it on we're gonna keep it on a Friday. It's gonna be on the MTRP doc. I'm just saying announcement because he's gonna have to make an announcement as to what he's gonna do on it, whether or not he wants to hear or what, or please. Give us a date, 30 days?
30 is fine, Judge, but not the weekend before Memorial Day, if at all possible.
June 4th?
That works for me, yeah.
Okay, to be reset to June 4th, 2021. Mr. McIntosh, you can get your reset.
Thank you,
And once
Judge.
your attorney gets your reset, Mr. Torres, you'll be free to go and you have a blessed day.
Thank you.
Next,
Oh, sorry, Judge. Go ahead.
Ronald Call Promise. This case is cause number 328546, State of Texas versus Ronald Carl Promise Jr. Is that your full name?
Yes, sir.
How you doing, Mr. Promise?
I'm okay.
That's good, Mr. Promise. You're here with your attorney, Mr. McIntosh. Mr. McIntosh, you have an announcement you'd like to make, Mr. Promise?
Yes, Judge, I have discovery. I looked at discovery. I've spoken with Ms. Ramos. I've gotten an offer, but I have not yet had a chance to go over that offer with my client. So I would just ask for one more reset to give him a chance to weigh his options, and then we'll be able to make an announcement at the next court date, I believe.
Okay, give us a date.
You want to keep it on the same day?
That's fine with me.
June 4th.
Okay, it's gonna be reset to June 4th. You can get your reset. Mr. Promise, once you get your reset from your attorney, you'll be free to go. And you have a blessed day. Your court date is June 4th, 2021. And Mr. McIntosh, I think this will conclude your cases.
Yes, Judge. You will.
And you have a blessed day as well.
Thank you, Judge.
This is cause number 315738. The case is style Xavier Keandre Bertrand. Is that correct? Mr. Bertrand, I have a motion to revoke your unadjudicated probation. In this motion, the motion alleges that on October 3rd of 2017, in this court, County Court at Law number 2, that the court found the evidence sufficient beyond a reasonable doubt to support a finding of guilt for the offense of possession of marijuana class B, but the court deferred adjudication of guilt in accordance with the provisions of Article 42.12 of the Texas Code of Criminal Procedure, and the court placed you on unadjudicated probation for 6 months. On June 15th of 2018, the state filed a motion to revoke your unadjudicated probation. Did you have an extension in this one?
Yes, he was extended, it's like 6 months.
Okay.
On March 2018.
Okay. Now, Mr. Bertrand, if your probation is revoked, because this is a Class B misdemeanor, you can face the full range of punishment, and the full range of punishment for a Class B misdemeanor is confinement in jail for a term not to exceed 180 days, a fine not to exceed $2,000 or both such fine and confinement. So, as a defendant, now, you reach him the judge's explanation. Could you give that to him? Now, the document that you have before you is titled Judge's Explanation of Rights to Defendants Without an Attorney. Do you see that? As a defendant in a criminal case, you have 3 options. Number 1, you may hire an attorney. Do you understand that option? Number 2, if you do not have enough money to hire an attorney, you may request an attorney be appointed to represent you. Do you understand that option? Number 3, you may represent yourself. Do you understand that option? If you want an attorney to represent you and have enough money to hire an attorney, the case will be reset to give you time to do so. If you want an attorney and do not have the money to hire one, you will need to fill out a financial questionnaire so that the proper person can determine whether or not to appoint an attorney to represent you. You may not speak to the prosecutor about your case unless you sign a written waiver of your right to be represented by an attorney. Be aware that there are dangers to self-representation. Waiving your right to an attorney and representing yourself may result in a worse outcome for you and your case, including the loss of significant legal rights and opportunities relating to military service, possession of a firearm, housing and public benefits, child custody, immigration status for non-citizens, and employment. If you choose to proceed without an attorney, you may change your mind at any time and may request counsel from the court. At the bottom of this document, it states defendant's choice. Mark initials next to only one choice. If your choice is, I want to reset this case to hire my own attorney, then you'll place your initials on the first line to the left. If your choice is, I have hired an attorney whose name is, then you'll place your initials on the second line to the left and the name of the attorney on the line to the right. If your choice is, I want to apply for court-appointed counsel, then you'll place your initials on the third line to the left. If your choice is, if your choice is, I have a court-appointed attorney whose name is, then you'll place your initials on the fourth line to the left and the name of the attorney on the line to the right. If your choice is, I want to waive my right to an attorney and represent myself, then you'll place your initials on the fifth line to the left. Once you have finished making your choice of one and initialed one of the 5 lines, you will sign on the line that says defendant and place today's date where it says date, and today's date is April 23rd of 2021. Do you understand?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, Mr. Bertrand, you're gonna have to fill out a financial questionnaire, and that financial questionnaire is before you, and basically, I'll just show you the form. Mr. Bertrand, if you look on the form, Mr. Bertrand, you see here where it says State of Texas versus, you place your name here, and then you fill out this information and ask for your name, middle name, or your middle initial and name, your address. And on this line, if you receive any types of benefits, such as Medicaid, SSI, SNAP, TANF, or you live in public housing, you check one of these boxes. Now, if you are employed, you'll check the box that states if you're employed, yes. If you're not employed, no. And then once you fill out the employment information, it goes down here to your marital status, whether or not you're married, single, divorced, separated, or widowed. And then the next line, it goes down here to your children. If you have any dependent children, you'll put them there in the age range, their ages rather. And then your living arrangements. For example, if you own a home, or if you rent a home, or if you live with a relative, or if you're homeless, you'll check off one of these boxes. And then after that, that's down here. And after that, it says monthly income. If you have a job, you're gonna fill out each one of these boxes. Just look at the line, and you're gonna put a numerical numbers, whatever that is. If you make $1,000 a month, you put that there. If you don't make anything, that's 0. And so you just go on each one, and then when you get to the bottom, you're gonna total. And then on this side, it's your expenses. It says whether or not if you have any rent, you're gonna put that down. If not, you're 0. And then once you finish answering all of these questions and put the values in, you're gonna total it. All right. And then on the second page, you're gonna sign at the top where it says defendant oath. All right. You're gonna read that, sign that. Okay. So just have a seat, fill out that information. If you need some help, we'll have someone who'll be happy to help you. This case is cause number 319658, and it's styled the state of Texas versus Troy Jamal Edwards. Is that your full name?
Yes, sir.
How you doing, Mr. Edwards?
Done.
That's good, Mr. Edwards. I have before me a motion to revoke your unadjudicated probation. In this motion, it alleges that on October 2nd of 2018, in County Court at Law Number 2, that the court found the evidence was sufficient to, beyond a reasonable doubt, to support a finding of guilt for the offense of possession of marijuana Class B. However, the court deferred adjudicating your guilt in accordance with the provisions of Article 4212 of the Code of Criminal Procedure, and the court placed you on unadjudicated probation for a period of 1 year.
Yes, sir.
Now, the state filed a motion to revoke your unadjudicated probation on January 27th of 2021. So I imagine he
Yes,
has
Your Honor, he had a total of 18 months extension.
extension. Okay. Now, Mr. Edwards,
Yes, sir.
you should have a document before you that is titled Judge's Explanation of Rights to Defendants Without an Attorney. Do you see that?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, as a defendant in it, well, let me back up. Now, if your probation is revoked in this case, you could face the full range of punishment. And the full range of punishment in this case is confinement in the county jail for up to 180 days, a fine that does not exceed $2,000, or you could be given both such fine and confinement. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
Now, as a defendant in a criminal case, you have three options. Number one, you may hire an attorney. Do you understand that option?
Yes, sir.
Number two, if you do not have enough money to hire an attorney, you may request an attorney be appointed to represent you. Do you understand that option?
Yes, sir.
Number three, you may represent yourself. Do you understand that option?
Yes, sir.
If you want an attorney to represent you and have enough money to hire an attorney, the case will be reset to give you time to do so. If you want an attorney and do not have the money to hire one, you will need to fill out a financial questionnaire so that the proper person can determine whether or not to appoint an attorney to represent you. You may not speak to the prosecutor about your case unless you sign a written waiver of your right to be represented by an attorney. Be aware that there are dangers to self-representation. Waiving your right to an attorney and representing yourself may result in a worse outcome for you and your case, including the loss of significant legal rights and opportunities relating to military service, possession of a firearm, housing and public benefits, child custody, immigration status for non-citizens, and employment. If you choose to proceed without an attorney, you may change your mind at any time and may request counsel from the court. At the bottom of this document, it states defendant's choice. Mark initials next to only one choice. If your choice is, I want to reset this case to hire my own attorney, then you'll place your initials on the first line to the left. If your choice is, I have hired an attorney whose name is, then you will place your initials on the second line to the left and the name of the attorney on the line to the right. If your choice is, I want to apply for court-appointed counsel, then you'll place your initials on the third line to the left. If your choice is, I have a court-appointed attorney whose name is, then you'll place your initials on the fourth line to the left and the name of the attorney on the line to the right. If your choice is, I want to waive my right to an attorney and represent myself, then you'll place your initials on the fifth line to the left. Once you finish placing your initials on one of those 5 lines, then you will sign at the bottom of this document on the line that says defendant, and you will place today's date of April 23rd of 2021 on the line that says date. Mr. Edwards, do you understand? Okay, Mr. Edwards, once you make your choice, Okay, Mr. Edwards, you want to apply for a court-appointed attorney? Mr. Edwards, you'll be given an affidavit of indigency. On this affidavit of indigency, up here where it says state versus, you're gonna place your name. And then down here, where it asks for your name, your address, your telephone number, you're gonna place all of that information in here. And then they're gonna ask, the next thing is asking whether or not you have received any Medicaid, SSI, SNAP, TANF, or do you live in public housing? Then after that, if you have employment, they're gonna ask you whether or not you work, yes or no. And if you work, you're gonna place your employment information here. And then below that, it asks your marital status, whether or not you're single, married, separated, widowed, or divorced. And then below that, it asks for your spouse name if you have a spouse, and then your children if you have any dependent children. And below the dependent children, they want to know your residency situation, whether or not you own a home, rent a home, living with a family member, or you're homeless. And then on the left side of this document, it asks for your monthly income if you have any income. And then you'll just read down this page of this document and answer the questions. For example, if you have an income, if no, you put 0. If you have a month, whatever your monthly income is, if it's 1,000 a month, you put 1,000 or whatever. And then if your spouse, if you're married, your spouse income. And then once you finish putting a figure in each one of these columns, then you're gonna total everything over here. And then on this side, you have to put your monthly expenses. For example, if you have to pay rent, or if you have to pay utilities, lights, gas, water, and just answer each one of those, put a value there, and when you get to the bottom, you're gonna total it. All right, just have a seat, and if you need some help, we'll have someone to help you. Okay, this is call number 319658. Troy Edwards, Mr. Edwards, looking at your affidavit of indigency. Apparently you have zeros on everything.
Yeah,
So you meet the eligibility requirements. You're not working, right?
yeah, I had an interview today.
I can't hear you.
I said I had an interview today.
Oh, you have an interview today, but you currently not working.
Yeah, not working.
Okay. And so you meet the eligibility requirements of court-appointed attorney. In this case, and your attorney is going to be Mr. Peter Dole. Mr. Edwards, please stand on the X and follow the directions of the court clerk. She's going to swear you in.
Raise your right hand. Do you swear that all the information you give here today is true, correct, to the best of your knowledge?
This is cause number 311900, State of Texas versus Nicholas James Randall. Mr. Randall is scheduled to be in court this morning for the court's announcement docket, which started at 9 a.m. on today's date of April 23rd of 2021. Mr. Randall's name was called at or about 9 a.m. by the court's bailiff. That's what time the announcement docket started, at 9 a.m. And Mr. Randall did not answer when his name was called. The court has been in session since 9 a.m. this morning, and Mr. Randall has not appeared in court. The time now is 10:29 a.m. on today's date. Mr. Bailiff, would you please call the name of Nicholas Randall?
That door is locked. Go out this door. Mr. Edwards?
Okay. Nicholas Randall's name was just called again by the court's bailiff. Mr. Randall did not answer. A reasonable time has passed to give Mr. Randall an opportunity to appear in court for the court's announcement docket. He has not appeared, therefore his bond will be forfeited and warrant shall be issued for his arrest. Madam Prosecutor, do you have any objections?
No objections, Your Honor.
No objections. A warrant shall be issued for the arrest of Nicholas Randall and his bond shall be forfeited. The next case is cause number 328258. And the case is styled the State of Texas versus Jaron DeQueer. Jaron DeQueer was scheduled to be in court this morning for the court's announcement docket at 9 a.m. on today's date of April 23rd, 2021. His name was called by the court's bailiff at the court's door at or about 9 a.m. and Mr. DeQueer did not answer. The court has been in session since 9 a.m. Mr. DeQueer has not appeared in court since the court has been in session. The time now is 10:30 a.m. on today's date. Mr. Bailiff, would you please call the name of Jaron DeQueer?
No response, Joe.
Jaron DeQueer's name was just called again by the court's bailiff. He did not answer. A reasonable time has passed to give Mr. DeQueer an opportunity to appear in court for the court's announcement docket. Therefore, his bond will be forfeited and a warrant shall be issued for his arrest. State, do you have any objections?
No objections, Your Honor.
No objections. Warrant shall be issued for the arrest of Jaron DeQueer and his bond shall be forfeited in cause number 328258. And this will conclude the calling of both the court's announcement docket and the court's motion to revoke probation docket, both of which was scheduled at 9 a.m. on today's date of April 23rd of 2021. And my name is Judge Terrence L. Holmes, presiding judge. This will conclude our docket.